There are endless possibilities when it comes to influence and persuasion. You can influence and persuade people to have a different thought, a different belief, a different outcome, a different perspective on something, or you can influence them to take actions that you want them to take. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a simple hypnotic language pattern that gets people to take the actions that you want them to take. Hey guys, my name is Paul Macetta and I am a researcher in the field of human communication. So if you like learning about things like influence, persuasion, and human communication, then go ahead and consider subscribing. And guys, in the description of this video, I'm going to hook you up with a link to my book, The Black Book of Hypnotic Language Patterns, where you will learn 101 hypnotic language patterns like the one I'm going to share with you today, which I believe is number 44. And the one I'm going to share with you today is called the Complex Equivalence Technique. So what the Complex Equivalence Technique does is it equates two different concepts to each other that ultimately support the identity of the person you are attempting to influence and persuade. So let me break that down for you. Deep within all of us is an identity that we have of ourselves. There are aspects of this identity that we are conscious of. There are aspects of it that we are not conscious of. But ultimately, we are all operating based on our identity. In fact, it's been said that every decision, every behavior, every choice, everything that we do in life is based on this self-concept, this identity that we have for ourselves. And our identity ultimately determines our standards. It determines the standards that we have in life. In other words, our standards are determined by our self-identity. And so if our standards are determined by our self-identity, and our choices and our behaviors are determined by our standards, if we want to influence and persuade someone's actions or behaviors, well, we need to first understand what their standards are based on their identity, and then we want to tie the actions that we want them to take to their identity using the complex equivalence technique. So why this works is, again, because when you can tie the behavior or the action that you want them to take to their identity, it makes them feel like they are valuing the identity by performing those actions. So the key to making this work is to first understand what the person's identity is and what they value. So some people value discipline. Some people value intelligence. Some people value hard work ethic. Some people value the ability to be a great communicator. So if I was speaking with someone who I know wants the identity and desires the identity, or maybe already has the identity of a master communicator, I might say something like, hey, learning the techniques that I'm sharing with you in this video is going to help you become a master communicator. Or I might say something like, look, the ability to show up and crank out 3 YouTube videos every single week is a true sign of discipline. So if I know that that person values discipline based on their identity, and the action that I want them to take is to consistently create new videos, well then I'm going to tie the creation of those videos to discipline. But you see, if I was talking to somebody who values creativity, I wouldn't necessarily talk about discipline. I would say something like, look, the ability to crank out 3 new videos every week is really a true sign of a creative person. So the key, again, is to always tie the action to the values that that person has based on their identity. So another example is if I was giving a workshop on leadership, and I know that I need to reframe the way leaders think about pain and challenges in their life, so that instead of letting those things beat them up and not serve them and prevent them from moving forward, I need to show them how to overcome those things to move forward. I might reframe the way that they think about pain and challenges and say, hey, listen, the ability to overcome pain and challenges is the sign of a true leader. So what I've done there is I've reframed the way that they think about those things so they don't necessarily see them as a negative thing. And then I've tied those things, tied that ability to overcome those things to the identity that I know that they value. So this is exactly how the complex equivalence technique works. Think about the outcome or the behavior that you want somebody to perform. Then think about their identity and their values, and then tie the action that you want them to take to the values that you know that they have. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, leave me a comment, leave me some feedback, let me know your opinion on this. And if you enjoy this type of content, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you get updated when I release more videos like this.